Hey, remember when Smash Bros. 4 came out and one of the first trailers of it was the villager getting a letter and he opens it and he runs off and it falls to the ground and it's an invitation to join Smash Brothers. Like Smash Brothers is this big invitational that like the Nintendo characters are people living in their little worlds and like their characters are just roles that they play. And like, you're invited to the Tournament of Heroes. Like, yes! Well, now, with this giant flaming Smash Brothers logo looking like the freaking eye of God, it seems like this is less of an invitational and more of a higher calling. Like, there's a superior power that is compelling all of the heroes of the Nintendoverse to come together and battle. It's kind of epic. It is kind of epic. I especially like seeing Mario and Link in that silhouette as if they're like divine beings. That's just cool, isn't it? Alright, so I know this is a very common list, and I know, like, personally I've already seen Movie Bob and Screw Attack's list, but these are my top 10 picks for what we're going to have in the next Smash Brothers game, or for what I want to see at least.
Number 10 is a free space.
Alright, I'm cheating a little bit with number 10. I used a picture of Earthworm Jim as an example, but really, number 10 is any iconic classic character that you probably like and has at one point been a major character in a franchise. I mean, specifically Earthworm Jim used to be huge. He had a Saturday morning cartoon, and his games were super popular. But then these characters wouldn't have been in the game for a long time. It's been a while since we've seen anyone. Like, the last time Earthworm Jim starred in the game was Earthworm Jim 3D for the Nintendo 64. And also in the N64 he had a cameo on Clay Fighter's Sculptor's Cut. But, that's not really, there hasn't been an original game since, yeah, that's a long time that we've had an original Earthworm Jim game. And the same thing could be said about a bunch of beloved characters, like Vectorman, or heck, if we're going to go back to Clay Fighters, Boogerman made a cameo in that one too. Although I don't think Boogerman would be appropriate for Smash Brothers, forget I said that. But yeah, like any classic character that you like, that was once a huge thing in their franchise, but hasn't been around for a long time, that's my number 10.
Number 9. Bring back the characters they removed from the previous one.
Yeah, the Smash Brothers roster should never decrease. It should only get bigger and bigger. And I really miss the characters that we had in earlier games. Well, maybe not Pichu. I'm okay with not getting Pichu back. I wonder why he was even put into Smash Bros. Melee. But yeah, we need to have Snake back, and Star Wolf, and the Ice Climbers. Like there are people that do fan comics of the Ice Climbers. Like, the Ice Climbers are popular. Why'd you remove them, Nintendo? So yeah, I want our characters back. Any characters that were removed from the previous rosters, bring them back now. So yeah, that's simply number 9. Alright.
Number 8. Pad the roster with more reskin characters.
Okay, I used a picture reference of Sonic being reskinned into Classic Sonic and Boom Sonic, but this was something that they already implemented in Smash Bros. 4. Like how they introduced Bowser Jr. as a character, but then with instead of recoloring him, he could be any of the Koopalings, or he could be the male or female versions of the Villager, or Robin, or Corrin, or the Wii Fit Trainer. They were like characters that were made into different skins. Like Olimar could be reskinned into Louie. It's not just Olimar in a different color, it's Louie, another character from the Pikmin franchise. Or like there is a way you can kind of get Daisy in the game by recoloring Peach to the red hair version. Like the difference being that like they have their name and a couple little voice clips recorded for them. You know, it's like you don't need to make new movesets, and you could actually increase your roster. Like you could nearly double or even triple it without actually having to program new movesets or skills in. Like this is a good thing to do for characters that are basically identical to other characters, or they have a very similar frame, or maybe just different known versions of characters, like my example with the various different versions of Sonic. So yeah, that would be really cool to see in this game. Like, you could totally beef up the roster by a massive amount just by doing this.
Number 7, Shantae.
Shantae, come on, like, I have made no secret that I am a huge fan of Way Forward and the Shantae franchise. I downloaded all the DLC packs for Half Genie Hero. I'm still playing one of them, the Friends Forever, that stars Bolin, Roddy Tops, and Sky. And I really do kind of love Shantae. I mean, I can see her, like, using her hair whip attack as her primary melee move, and you can charge up and she can, like, really whack that thing. But here's the thing. Here's my idea, okay? Okay? Take a look at this picture from Half Genie Hero.
You know, the transformation dance. You could pick her transformation, and she dances.
Hey, you saw that? Now, what do those 4 directional inputs look like? They look like the D-pad that you used to make taunts. So here's my idea. You use the taunt system to incorporate her animal transformations. Like, you can have her turn into the monkey, and that will make her like a Pikachu character, really a small target to hit and really fast, and one of those things that can cling to walls. She can turn into the elephant, which would be a Bowser-like huge burly character. She can turn into the harpy, which would be a really good like it would fly like Pit or Charizard, and it would be really good at recovering, but maybe be a little bit more slippery. You know, like her transformations can be keyed in. All you'd have to do is select the taunt, and if the taunt animation is able to play out, that is, no one can hit you before her dance finishes, then she'll transform into the animal and essentially be a new character. This kind of goes into like how originally Zelda and Sheik were the same selectable character, and you would transform from one into another, except you would have access to 4 different transformations. I know this will make it a little bit more difficult to make the character, because you'd have to basically make 5 characters all in one slot, but come on, this is totally something that Nintendo can do. You don't tell me Nintendo's not able to do this. Frankly, it would be more difficult to get the Shantae license, but I'm pretty sure if Nintendo can say, hey, can we put your character in Smash Brothers, and they will get an immediate yes. So I think it's all Nintendo's court, because everybody would want their character to be in Smash Brothers. And I really think Shantae would be a great character with a unique and interesting gimmick. Oh, and you know who would be perfect for this particular gimmick?
Number 6, Young Link. Majora's Mask version specifically.
Young Link. Like, okay, some of you might be wondering why I didn't mention Young Link on the Bring Back the Removed Characters roster. That's because I think he should be here. I know some people think that Young Link was effectively replaced by Toon Link, but Toon Link and Young Link are different, especially if we're taking Young Link from Majora's Mask. You can do the same exact thing I did with Shantae, where you would use the directional pads for taunts, and each different direction would have him put on a different mask. So you could have him turn into Deku Link, which would be a much faster character that's excellent at recovering, but he's light and can get knocked around easily. You have the Goron Link, who'd be really heavy and hard to throw, but he'd be really strong, but he'd be a bit slower, except for his rolling attack, which would be his 1 speed move, it's very similar to Bowser in many ways. You would have the Zora Link, which would have possibly the biggest hitbox, because he could attack with his flippers, and he might be a more slippery, floatier character, good at dodging and weaving, and I do believe he has like an electrical attack that he can do in the game. I admit, I never really beat Majora's Mask, and I never even reached the part where I could turn into Zora Link, but Zora Link looks awesome. And now, I don't think, don't give the 4th attack to Fierce Deity, no. Because if you think about it, the Fierce Deity Link is the epic final Smash transformation.
They already basically did that in Hyrule Warriors, by the way.
Like when he gets that Smash Ball and he turns into Fierce Deity Link, that would be just awesome. Like his sword would fire the sword beams, and he'd be like able to move super fast, and he'd have a really powerful hit. That would just be perfect. That's like the Giga Bowser transformation, but it's Link, and that is what I want. I want young Link to be reintegrated into this cast, but I want him to have the full-on Majora's Mask treatment. And I know I'm introducing an entire new gimmick with actually making their taunts part of their movesets, but that could be a way to keep the formula fresh, I mean, it may be Smash Brothers, but you can't just keep on releasing the same game every console generation. You gotta spice things up with new gimmicks.
Number 5, Decidueye.
Now, pretty much everybody's, the Screw Attack list had this too, but it makes perfect freaking sense. Okay, first, don't remove Lucario or Mewtwo. I love Lucario and Mewtwo. I don't want them to go away. Keep them. And I know we gotta keep Pikachu. I'm rather ambivalent about Pikachu, but I know he's the mascot of the franchise, so if you're gonna have Pokemon in the game, you gotta have Pikachu. But the other Pokemon we have Charizard, a Gen 1 Fire Starter. We have Greninja. I don't remember what Gen he is off the top of my head, but he's the Water Starter. So, we had a Pokemon game that came out recently in Sun and Moon. They have a fresh new starters, and it has perhaps the most awesome grass starter that has ever existed. And that would be Decidueye. I can imagine Decidueye would be a very Pit-like character, because the character would have a bow and arrow as a long-range attack. He's an owl, so he'd of course fly. He'd probably have a triple jump like Charizard, possibly a glide move. Decidueye would be it would be good to have a Pit-like, you know how Smash Brothers is full of clone characters, you have Ganondorf is basically Captain Falcon, but with the strength upped and the speed lowered. Basically you take Pit's basic move set and you just turn that all into clone characters that way. It's fun. But yeah, Decidueye. Decidueye looks awesome. He is awesome, and you should totally have Decidueye as the Trinity. The rock, paper, scissors, fire, water, grass. You gotta have a fire, water, grass. That's how Pokemon works. So yeah, we are long overdue to have someone filling in that third slot, and it has to be Decidueye because it's the most recent console version, the most recent generation. It just makes perfect sense. All right, moving on.
Number 4, Shovel Knight.
Number 4 is Shovel Knight. I know it's an obvious choice. The dude has an amiibo already. You got the amiibo, you gotta have Shovel Knight. How can you not have Shovel Knight? Look at him. He's cool. I know this guy is made by Yacht Club Studios or whatever. It's a third-party character, but there is nobody who screams more old school Nintendo than Shovel Knight. Everything about this character was designed to be like an old school Nintendo character, and the best thing to do would be to put him in Smash Brothers. Yes, you did it. You made a character that would have perfectly fit into Nintendo canon way back in way back in the NES era, in the modern days. He deserves to be in Smash Brothers more so than any other third-party video game character I can possibly think of. We need to have Shovel Knight.
Number 3, characters from ARMS. And I know they'd probably go with Springman, but, let's not be a little bit too obvious.
Okay, now I know ARMS is now Nintendo's newest IP. It was Splatoon for the Wii U, but now we have ARMS. Now, ARMS is a fighting game, so yeah, take a character from a fighting game and put him into a crossover fighting game. It's so natural. I can see these guys having really big hitboxes because of their arms, but maybe their weakness is that they have a really long range of attack, but then waiting for their arms to come back, they can't move. So they probably would be characters with they get really powerful and long range attacks out, but then they'd be vulnerable to counterattack. So you can balance it out that way. And I know Springman, basically the face of the game's advertising, would probably be their little Mac character. He'd be the guy that they would put front and center, and they want him first. But like any of the ARMS cast, like so many members of ARMS, like maybe have a like I said, maybe have a popularity poll, like the fun characters. That would be like there's so many cool characters. There's a clown, there's a lady with like attack hair, there's a girl in a mecha. I mean, we all love girls in mechas, right? There's even a guy who's just a blob of unstable DNA, and we have a ninja. Like they added a Pokemon ninja. We might not have another ninja. We need ninjas. Ninjas are cool. And like, there's a surprising lack of ninjas in Smash Brothers. Like, there's Greninja and Sheik. There's 2. So yeah, like ARMS. It's Nintendo's newest IP. They premiered on the Switch. This would be a good way to encourage that franchise. Like, just how they're encouraging the Inklings by having them appear in Mario Kart and now putting them in Smash Bros. 2, ARMS deserves this slot as well.
Number 2, Eggman and Tails. And you can bet that I would want them to be reskinned into their Boom and Classic versions as well.
I know, you guys were expecting me to come up with this, but come on, like, Tails and Dr. Eggman, again, yes, they were already on other lists, but yeah, Tails and Dr. Eggman, they are awesome. And like, I was really convinced by how they could make Tails work as another one of those characters with the gliding and the staying in the air ability. He could be a great character. Plus, he's been in a fighting game before. He's been in he's been not only in Sonic the Fighters, but also in oh god, why am I forgetting the name now? Sonic Battle on the Game Boy Advance. I know that's going back a bit, but you can actually give him moves from the Sonic Battle game, including like his little arm cannon thing that he uses, and like he could be a really cool pseudo technology-based fighter character. And speaking of technology-based fighter characters, you have Dr. Eggman, and like when I saw them introduce Baby Bowser Jr. in Smash Bros. 4, I'm like, oh hey. Kind of Eggman's gimmick, isn't it? Yeah, you can have him be in the modified Eggmobile, and he could basically be a clone of Bowser Jr. Except maybe bigger and more powerful, but also slower. And like he can have moves like it can grow the drill tank, or like from above it can drop the fireballs. Like do basic things that it did in boss fights from previous Sonic titles. Like you could do that. So yeah, Sonic needs his friends. I mean, we have so many characters from Mario, and they've imported like so many cast members from Fire Emblem. And like I know people really like Fire Emblem and they like Marth as a character in this game, but you know, like you have so many characters from Fire Emblem, that a franchise that I never played a single game from, and but you know, like you have one character from Sonic, and Shadow makes his appearance as an assist trophy. You know, like, come on, guys, we should have more Sonic, because like like Sonic is one of the most iconic franchises in all of video game history, and you know, we gotta have more than just one representation of his franchise in this game. So yeah, Tails and Eggman, they are my number 2. So what will Wakeangel2K1 put as his number 1 choice?
Number 1 isn't a character, it's a gameplay mode, which they cut.
Yeah, it's not a character, it's a freaking gameplay mode. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, it's the gameplay mode. You know, when Smash Bros. 4 came out, the Wii U version, I'm gonna be honest, I barely played it. Because as a single person, like, I don't have people that come over to my house all the time to play video games with me, so there's no real multiplayer that I have. Like the single player campaign in Smash 4, like, it's like non-existent almost. It's not even as interesting as the Super Smash Bros. Melee single player mode. It's boring. Like you play the match, and then pieces move on a game board, and then you play the next match. You know what Smash Bros. Mode I played? I played Smash Tour from the 3DS version of the game. That, I spent more time playing that than any other mode of any of both of the versions put together. Like, that's really it. Like a story mode. Like, if you're going to get all of the famous iconic video game characters in history and put them together into one thing, like, we would like to have some kind of narrative reason. Now, I know Nintendo gave us a reason why they didn't put a story mode in Smash 4. It's because they figured that within a few days of the game's release, all the cutscenes from it will be released on YouTube and people wouldn't actually play it. That is the whiniest, most pitiful, pathetic, loserish excuse to not put the story mode in your game. Like, oh, what's the point? No one's gonna actually want to play the game. They'll just watch the videos. Like, no! There are people. Those people that got those cutscenes, they played your game. I played your game. There are people who will care. There are tons of people who have advocated how much they care about their game story. We want another extravaganza. I know Subspace Emissary was really hard for you to make, and maybe you were a little bit brokenhearted when you saw people were just watching the videos on YouTube instead of actually playing it for themselves. But that was a really, really fun game. I love playing a side-scrolling beat-em-up starring everyone from Nintendo, and then having it be it was just awesome. Like, there was massive explosions, and there were misunderstandings as characters fought each other. Like how Mario thought that Link killed Princess Peach when he took out one of the clones of her, and he comes running in. Oh no, I think that was when Mario beat a Zelda up, and then Link came in and tried to slash him apart with a sword. Cause that was really you know what? I'm completely exacerbated. Now, they said that this game is going to be released in 2018. So, seeing as how we're already 3 months into 2018, that means that they would at most have 3/4 of a year to work on this game. That's the fastest development cycle of a Smash Bros. Game I've ever heard of. Like the Wii version, Smash Bros. Brawl, that game got delayed a whole year. Like, they kept on pushing its release date back farther and farther, but, that was so that they could refine it. And I think most of it was so that they could make that awesome story mode. I'm not really sure if 8 months is really enough to do a whole Smash Brothers story mode, but I really hope you would try. Like, at the very least, give us something like what we had in Smash Bros. Brawl, with levels to advance to where the other characters are boss fights. Like, even if you aren't going to go all out with a massive epic story mode, like the Revenge of Taboo, or facing the whims of the Master and the Crazy Hands, this should be a real thing. Like, we want these characters, like maybe a coming of age story for the new Inklings. Like they're new recruits, they're scared, they're facing this whole big new challenge, and they're not sure if they're up to it. But then it turns out that their power is the one that can help save the day. I feel really passionate about this. We need to have a story mode for the new Smash Brothers. You just gotta. And now I'm just gonna be ranting and repeating myself, so I hope you like my list. If you have any suggestions for what would be good to appear in Smash Brothers, put them in the comments below. Hey, even make your own videos, that'll be fun. And this is Wakeangel2K1, and for now, I'm signing off.